Hi everyone, it's Nick. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am reviewing IKEA's 2021 lineup. I'm giving you my top 10 favorite IKEA products for 2021. I haven't done an IKEA video in a little while and I'm really excited. I thought I would just review sort of their 2021 lineup and give you my own favorite picks. I will also add that I want to give a shout out to Elle, who reached out to me on Instagram and said, if you send me the list of IKEA products, I am Swedish, I can tell you how to pronounce them. So I did, and she's awesome. And she gave me the Swedish pronunciation of all of the items on this list. So I'm still probably not gonna do a great job, but at least I'm trying. So, you know, it's something, right? Hopefully. Okay, first on my list is actually an honorable mention, so I'll get to the top 10 in a second, and there's a reason why this one's an honorable mention. It is called the Ekolsund. It is a recliner. Now, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you all. I hate recliners. I think my hatred of the marshmallow sofa has now been well documented here on the internet. I think everybody knows I hate the marshmallow. But many of you sort of messaged me on Instagram or reached out in the comments and said, but Nick, I have a spouse that loves a recliner and insists on getting a marshmallow sofa, to which I then told people get a new spouse. But then they said, no, I actually really like the spouse I have. And I said, okay, fine. You know, like you make your bed, you lie in it. So I did understand their point, and I thought, you know, are there some recliners that are acceptable? And this is an example of maybe one that, although I don't love, which is why I didn't make the top 10, but it is one that is better than your typical marshmallow. It's quite clean, quite simple. It is a recliner. You have that spouse that insists on something ugly, then this is maybe a really great compromise solution. So it comes in a couple of different colors. It's got this like kind of nice pink color, as well as it comes in gray. I think it's a reasonable option. Again, I don't like recliners, but you know, you do you. If you have to make it work, then I suppose it's better than a marshmallow. Let's just say that. Now let's get to my actual top 10 in no particular order, but I would say this one's probably one of my favorites of this list, and that is the Tufjord. This is a beautiful, amazing curved bed. It's got this interesting sort of like cozy kind of corners to it. I just think it's really, really gorgeous. Now it comes in two colors. It comes in like this bluish sort of gray color, which is nice, I would say, but where it gets really next level is this dark green sort of emerald velvet fabric. I think that this is really beautiful and does not scream IKEA. This is like something you would get at Anthropology, or something you would maybe, I could even see something like CB2 doing something like this, honestly. A lot of people have told me that it's really difficult to get a hold of. I found the same thing. I find it's really difficult to find this bed. It's just so popular that the stock levels are really low, so it is difficult to find at IKEA, but for good reason, because this bed is awesome. Okay, so number 9 on my list is the Groenadal. I love this rocking chair. I think it's bigger in person, honestly, when you actually go to IKEA and you see it. So it's made in this beautiful rattan. It's just really light. I could see this in like a baby's room, like if you have a nursery or something like that, or a little kid's room. It's just a really beautiful rocking chair. I mean, I personally don't have a need for a rocking chair, but if I did, this would be one on my short list. This doesn't scream IKEA. It's quite different. It's quite unique, really special, definitely worth a look. Okay, number 8 on my list is actually a 2-for-1, but they're kind of tied together, and there's these two beautiful throws that are new to IKEA. One is called the Dystermal, and the other one is called the Ebbalotta. At least that's how Elle pronounced it, sort of. I love these throws. I think they're really beautiful. The first one, I would say, is like this really big, beautiful, chunky throw. Sometimes IKEA's throws can be a little bit thin, and I'm looking for a chunky throw. Like, I want to know that if I'm gonna have be watching Netflix or something, I want a throw, or I want a blanket that's actually, you know, like got some substance to it, that's gonna really feel like it's gonna maybe keep you warm. I don't know, just, you know, crazy idea. And this throw really does that. It's really big, really chunky. It's got this really beautiful sort of creamy color to it. You just want to curl under it. It's just a really beautiful throw. The other one has this beautiful black and white and gray check pattern, which looks really, really cool. Definitely works for a modern space, something really contemporary. So if you're really going for that black and white monochromatic look, I think this would be gorgeous. So two very, very solid throws. I was at IKEA yesterday and I was just looking at all the throws. They have some really, really beautiful ones that are out there, but these two are new and definitely worth a look. Okay, next up on my list is the Lustigkurre. These are a beautiful line of seagrass baskets. So this is, you're gonna see, like, sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit like redundant with my love of like the seagrass and the rattan and the caning and stuff from IKEA, but the reason is because this is their sweet spot. It's like really affordable material that they can mass produce, that is just beautiful design, that's really simple and clean, and just sort of like hits the mark of being like functional and beautiful and at a good price. And that's why I think these baskets, like seagrass baskets, they have rattan baskets, but these one in particular is just, that's where IKEA is just super solid and really difficult. And yeah, you can go to other shops, you can go to Crate & Barrel and you can spend a whole bunch more money, but IKEA just does it at such a great price point. This is why we love them. This seagrass basket, I think, just has this really beautiful shape to it, and it's just got this really interesting detail kind of around sort of the belly of the basket, which just makes it a little bit more different, a little bit more unique. And this just adds to the growing collection of amazing rattan and seagrass baskets offered at IKEA. But this one is new and definitely worth a look. Next up on my list is the Tillagd, and this is a collection of beautiful flatware from IKEA. Now, I have talked about that they had them in black before, which is what I have at home, and I really love it. I totally recommend it. I mean, it's a painted black finish, so eventually sort of it does kind of start to wear a little bit, but I just love the price point. I think it's about 60 bucks here Canadian for a set, which is a really awesome price. They've had the black cutlery for a while, but at least at my IKEA, they now have gold cutlery. Now, I will find some of IKEA, tell me if you guys agree, sometimes IKEA's gold is a little bit too brassy, like it's a little bit too sort of 90s loud brass, and I personally really want something a little bit softer and a little bit more of like a brushed finish. And some of you might love that it's got this really big, bold brass look to it. So I think for brass flatware, this is a really great price for a really great product. So definitely the Tillagd is worth checking out. Okay, next up is the Ekenaeset, which is a really cool side chair. I'm surprised it took IKEA to come up with a chair like this. I've actually heard some people say that in other countries you guys got this chair earlier, but it's new in IKEA here in Canada because it's got a little new sticker on it. Might just be this new color, which is this really cool sort of dark brown wood with this gray. Now, I think this is a really beautiful mid-century modern chair if this just kind of got this sort of Scandinavian mid-century look to it. I feel like this is a chair that is just a really good price for a chair that I have seen at Article. I feel like I've seen something similar at CB2. I feel like I've seen something similar 10 similar chairs from West Elm. It just has this really cool mid-century modern / sort of Scandinavian look that we have seen in other retailers, but finally here at IKEA. So I really love this color of it coming out with this really beautiful dark gray. Now, I have heard rumors that at one point, it's not really a rumor, I found it in IKEA's website. But I have heard that at one point they had this same dark wood, but with black velvet, or like different variations of like gray velvet, like 2 different versions. I want to find that chair, and I would love that chair. So can we like globally petition IKEA to come out with this chair in the same dark wood, but to have black velvet in the cushions and this, oh my God, like how beautiful is that chair? Like I really want it. So let's petition IKEA globally to come back out with that chair, make it a full-time offering, because this chair is really cool. I do like it in the gray fabric, which I was able to find really easily, but I would love to see it come back in this gray or black velvet. How cool would that be? Okay, now we're gonna take a look at another bed, which is the Vadheim. This bed comes in this really cool, it's sort of like a green, but it's a very light green. It's sort of like a gray green, to be honest, which I'm seeing IKEA do a lot of this kind of gray green sort of look. I love this padded bed frame. Padded bed frames oftentimes at other retailers are really expensive, but IKEA here it's quite affordable. I really love it. It's kind of got this really curve on the top. It's not as curved as the other bed that we looked at earlier, but I do really like it in this light green color. It would look good in a primary bedroom, but it would also look really great in like a kid's room or even a teenager's room. I think it's a really beautiful bed. Next up on my list is a beautiful pillow called the Hedsaev. I think it's just got this really beautiful texture. Sometimes you hear me on this channel, I talk a lot about like layering in different textures in your decor, using say something like color as a unifier or design style, but really just layering in different textures, especially if you're going for that super hot and trendy look that I'm loving right now, which is this sort of warm neutrals. So this would be a really great example of sort of a pillow that you could bring in that has like a really unique texture. So you're layering in textures to make your space look more visually intriguing, looks more interesting, even though maybe you're not varying color too much. You're not necessarily sort of doing some really big, bold colors. You're just layering in different colors or different tones of different neutrals. Yeah, it just makes the space look more visually interesting and more intriguing. So this is a really cool pillow, definitely worth a look. Speaking of warm neutrals, I've also picked out this beautiful collection called the Roedask. So it's a beautiful rug, but it also comes in pillows. It also comes in drapes. It's got this really interesting geometric pattern in sort of different earth tones. So it's just really kind of funky, kind of cool. I love that the pillows and the drapes sort of work with the rug, but they're not too matchy-matchy. Like they're kind of existing in the same color palette, which I like, but that they're different. So you can sort of use the pattern that exists both in the rug and the pillows and the drapes. So you can kind of connect them if you want to sort of do that whole look. You can connect them, but there's enough visual interest coming from the variations in the color to make it really cool and interesting. So I definitely love this collection. Definitely really cool. I think it would work for sort of a mid-century modern because you kind of got a bit of a geometric pattern in the rug, which I think is really neat. But again, if you're going for something modern, if you're going for something Scandi, if you're going for this whole warm neutral look where you're just layering on those different neutrals, I think this is a really great collection to take a look at. Next up on my list is the Varfint. This is a really, really cool bamboo tray. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't seen this in person at my IKEA. I wasn't able to find it, but I have seen it online, which makes me think that it's like maybe quite new and just hasn't really made it into some stores quite yet. But it's this really cool bamboo tray. Again, you've got these really natural fibers. So it's got this beautiful round shape and just this really sort of interesting curve to it with these kind of cool little handles on the side. It feels like it's quite retro too. Like this looks like a tray that, you know, my mom would have whipped out in like 1987. But you know, here it is back again in this really cool bamboo, and definitely just a really cool tray for you to take a look at. That's it for me for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my 2021 review, top 10, roundup, whatever you want to call it. I have a whole bunch of IKEA videos on my channel if you want to check out. I'm going to link to the playlist here, and I will see you all next time. Thanks. Bye.